We have already established that the immunoglobulins are incredibly diverse due to their variable regions. So it's only fair to dive deeper into the different organization and rearrangements that take place in order to achieve this. So first up, we're going to explore the heavy chains. The genes that actually code for immunoglobulin heavy chains are located on chromosome 14. In the germline configuration of immature cells, these genes are located in 4 regions, which are, first up, in variable, in which around 50 functionally active V genes code for amino acids 1 to 95. The diversity region, in which 10 to 30 D genes code for amino acids 96 to 101. Then we have the joining region, where 6 J genes code for amino acids 102 to 110. And finally, we have the constant region that is determined by 6 C genes: mu for IgM, gamma 1 for IgG1, and gamma 2 for IgG2, and so on. Now, each V gene is headed by a leader, or L sequence. And during the process of maturation, a portion of the DNA is deleted, and a D gene becomes linked with a J gene. This is known as D-J rearrangement. An mRNA molecule is transcribed from this DJ sequence, and the gene for the constant region of the IgM molecule, C-mu. So a precursor DJ C-mu protein is synthesized. Now, during maturation, the V gene and its corresponding L segment is brought next to the DJ gene. So now VDJ C-mu mRNA is transcribed from this. And a VDJ C-mu protein is now synthesized. Now, the cleavage of the L sequence ultimately yields the mu heavy chain of the immunoglobulins. Now, this entire process is referred to as somatic recombination, and it can yield a recombination potential of almost 3 to 9,000 for the amino acid sequence of the variable region of the heavy chains. Now, coming towards the organization of kappa light chain genes, or K light chains as some people call it. They're located on chromosome 2 with 35 to 40 functionally active V genes, along with the corresponding L genes, encoding amino acids 1 to 95. Then we have 5 J genes coding from 96 to 110. V genes are brought closer to the J genes during the process of DNA rearrangement, and a precursor mRNA is transcribed from a VJ sequence. The L portion usually splits off from the protein. Now, approximately 175 to 200 different kappa light chains can be coded. Now, on the other hand, if we talk about the organization of the lambda light chains on the chromosome 22, this is actually not fully understood, but we can assume that there are just as many genes from the lambda chain as for the K chain or the kappa chains. Now, because every heavy chain is linked with a kappa or lambda chain, there are theoretically 520,000 to 1.8 million different kappa-bearing recombination. The projected number for lambda-bearing immunoglobulins is probably similar, but the actual number may actually be higher. We can say this due to several reasons, such as mutations at the DNA level, errors during deletion and recombination, or synthesis of new immunoglobulins with enhanced affinity due to the switching of amino acids. Now, class switching is a term which is basically used to describe how immunoglobulins are switched from one class to another, which is directed by the enzyme activation induced cytidine deaminase, or AID. Now, in order to induce class switching, AID makes double-strand breaks in the DNA of the CH locus of the heavy chains. Now, this removes intervening DNA between the VDJ region. Now, this causes irreversible switching of that IgM positive B cell to instead express surface IgG, IgE, or IgA. The decision of whether to switch to any of these immunoglobulins is based on the cytokine signals that the B cell receives. Keep in mind that interleukin 21 plus gamma interferon exposure makes IgG. Interleukin 21 plus interleukin 4 release cleaves IgE. And interleukin 21 plus various mucosal cytokines makes IgA. Now, usually the VH variable region is not affected by class switching. However, AID does make nucleotide substitutions in the gene regions that encode the VH and VL chains. Therefore, they further increase the potential diversity of the B cell pool on a massive scale. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have 5 classes of immunoglobulins, and they can be determined by the Fc portion. The IgG, IgD, and IgE exist as monomers, meaning as a single unit. The IgA is secreted as a dimer or as 2 units. And IgM is secreted as a pentamer, which is 5 units together. Now, there's a condition called X-linked hypogamma-globulinemia, also called Bruton's A gamma-globulinemia, in which boys with this disease have low levels of all immunoglobulins, which are the IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD, and IgE. And there is a virtual absence of B cells. Female carriers are actually immunologically normal. Now, in this disease, pre-B cells are present, but they fail to differentiate into mature B cells. And this failure is caused by a mutation in the gene encoding a tyrosine kinase, that is an important signal transduction protein. Clinically, recurrent pyogenic bacterial infections that are caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenza can occur in infants at about 6 months of age, when maternal antibody is no longer present in sufficient amount to be protective. This causes conditions like otitis media, sinusitis, and pneumonia. A treatment with pooled gamma globulin reduces the number of infections. Okay, so that was a lot of information. But stick with us, we're going to discuss the different classes of immunoglobulins and their different structures and functions.